Alright guys, welcome to the 1.6.2 update for Ultra Custom Night. In this episode, I'm going to be going over all the new characters that were added in the latest update, mention the new skins, any mechanic changes, any bug fixes, and yeah, it's pretty much what we're about to do. So, for the first order of business of 1.6.2 is to get into the new characters, which is what I will do right now. The first character added in this update is Teaser Mangle, and as it states, looking at Cam 2 on any floor will cause her hook to appear and slowly move across the monitor, scratching it. After too many scratches, the screen will completely break. So as you can see, when you go into the cameras and go to Cam 2 on floor 1, here comes a Mangle claw that goes across the screen, causing scratches. This will happen on Cam 2 of any floor, as you can see, floor 3, floor 4, and that's pretty much all the floors that have a Cam 2. And as it said, when enough scratches go on the screen, it will eventually break the camera. We'll see, and there you go. Yeah, it completely breaks the camera, so do not let that happen, that is for sure. Anyway, moving on to the next character. Alright, the next character on the list is Frozen over Ballora. As it states, she will slowly move towards you while singing from the other side of the building. She will kill you if she gets to you. Keeping the temperature high will cause her to melt and reset to the start. So as you can hear in the background, you can hear Frozen over Ballora in the background. You know, her singing slowly becomes louder and louder, and as it said, to melt her and make it go back, you have to turn up the volume to make her melt. Just like that. And she became quiet. So, pretty easy character to deal with. Increase the temperature when she starts getting loud, and it'll reset her back to the beginning. And of course, if you fail to do that particular thing, well, this will happen to you. Alright, next up is the Imposter. As stated here, he will roam the vent system. If he hits a vent snare, he will sabotage either the ventilation, video, or audio. He will reset to the beginning once he gets to the door. During video or audio areas, your toxic meter will start to increase. Alright, so as you saw right there, just as the tooltip said, as soon as the Imposter hits a vent snare, it'll cause an error to go through. And it can be any of the following errors you see right there. Secondly, when the Imposter starts to get close to the door, as you can see, he resets back to the beginning. So the Imposter himself doesn't seem like he can kill you. But another thing that was mentioned in the tooltip is when he sets off an error, it causes your toxic meter to increase. Next up is Twisted Wolf. As stated, he will appear in the basement whenever the internet meter is below 50%. He will stay there until the exotic butters is pressed while the meter is above 50%. If he stays there for too long, he will kill you. So, as the description said, as soon as the internet goes below 50%, the Twisted Wolf appears. And then once it goes back above 50%, we have to hit the exotic butters to get him to go away. So, if your internet does end up going below 50%, just hit exotic butters once it comes back up to get rid of them. And obviously, if you don't do that, well, this happens. Alright, next up is the Fazbear Monkeys. As stated, they will individually appear on the Cam 3 of either Floor 2, Floor 3, or Floor 4. Use the respective floor's tool, flashlight, audio, or shock, to make them leave. If all three of them appear at the same time, you will die. As you can see, a monkey just appeared on Floor 4, and to get rid of him, controlled shock. Also, a monkey just appeared on Floor 3. Hi. Audio lore to get rid of him. Now, it does not seem like there's any way to tell if there's actually a monkey on floor 2, so you just gotta flash it every now and again just to be safe. So yeah, pretty simple to deal with all the different monkeys. Flash floor 2, audio lure on floor 3, and shock on floor 4. Not too bad. And obviously, if you fail to do this, well, then this will happen to you. Alright, next up is the sun. As it states, it will slowly move towards you on the GPS system whenever the temperature is above 100 degrees, and will never go back. The closer it gets to you, the higher the minimum temperature will become, eventually locking you at 120 degrees. So we go to GPS system, we can see the sun is right there. And if we set it to get hot up to above 100 degrees with the heater on, we should see the sun start approaching us. It's above 100 degrees, and as you can see, the sun is currently going. Now I'm going to turn this back on to stop the sun from moving toward me, and we should see a new minimum temperature. Yup, look at that. When the sun is this close, the minimum temperature is now 71 degrees instead of 60. And, as it said, if it gets all the way on top of you, it should lock the minimum temperature at 120. So we're above 100 degrees again, and the sun's coming toward us. And now it is right on top of us. So if I try to cool it down, still seems like it works, oddly enough, but it's locked at 84. I wonder if I let it go for a little bit, does it continue to increase the cap? Look at this. I have both the power AC and the fan on, and the temperature is going up. Look at that. And there you go. It caps out. I'm literally doing power AC, fan. There's nothing much more you can do to cool it down. So yeah, that can be very dangerous. That can be very dangerous. Oh, I just ran out of power. Well, there's nothing else turned on that can take me out, so I'll see you guys in the next animatronic. Alright, next up is Bounce Pot. As stated, he'll stay on the glitch floor. 87 seconds into the night, he will do the bite of 87 on you. The only way to stop him is to skip the 87th second entirely by collecting the 2-second skip clock that stays next to him. Alright, so Bounce Pot can be found right here on the glitch floor, and as it said, it'll kill you on the 87th second of the night, which is actually at 1 minute and 27 seconds. So we're coming there very soon, and I guess at 1 minute 26, I'm gonna click this and see if that lets me survive. And there you go. I skipped the 87th second of the night, and that deals with Bounce Pot. He's a one-time character, it looks like, and once he's dealt with, you're good. Now, obviously, if you fail to do that, well, this happens. Alright, next up is the feet. And as stated, they will appear on your desk every time you use the shock. When they're on the desk, you will be unable to use the monitor or mask. Drag and drop them at one of the doors so that they walk out. So let's see here. I hit controlled shock and the feet appear in front of me on the table. Yup. I try to use the mask or the monitor, doesn't let me. Even if I hit the hotkeys, it won't let me. So I gotta drag and drop them at either door for them to walk out, and I can use both items again.
Exotic butters.
So, pretty simple, just an extra step every time you use controlled shock to have to go back into your stuff. Very simple, not that hard to understand. Alright, next up is Cartoon Golden Flumpty, and as stated, he will fly around the office chomping down on air. If he chomps down on your cursor, it will get stuck within his mouth for a few seconds. So, as we come to the office, we can see Cartoon Golden Flumpty just going around the office chomping. And simple, just avoid him doing his rounds and you shouldn't have any problems. But obviously, if he does bite your mouse, as you can see, it gets stuck in his mouth. He can take it on a little bit of a journey, I can see. But other than that, yeah, very easy character to deal with. And it seems like he can go off screen. And I'm sure he will come back eventually. But yeah, that's Cartoon Golden Flumpty. Again, very simple character to understand, and not too big of a deal. He can be annoying when there's a lot of stuff happening, though. Alright, next up is Flumpty Bumpty, and as stated, he will walk around floor 1. If you look at him for too long, the exposure meter will start to increase. So, when you go into the night, you'll notice that a nice little phone call goes off.
Hi, I'm Flumpty Bumpty. I'm an egg. I'm immune to the plot and I can transcend time and space. Also, I'm coming after you. You can figure out the rest. How fun.
So, that is the One Night at Flumpty's 1 phone call, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, here's Flumpty on the camera, and as you look at him, the exposure meter increases. Either switch off the cams or put the cams down to stop it from increasing. Now, just like the actual Flumpty's game, the exposure meter doesn't seem to go down over time, so try not to get that to increase. Now, obviously, if you look at him for too long, well, you can expect what comes next. Alright, so next up is Augmented BB. As stated, he will appear on the GPS system, either in front of you or to the side of your avatar. To survive, if he's in front of you, point your flashlight at the front vent. If he's to your side, point your flashlight at the respective door.
Hello.
Okay, so we can see that BB appeared right in front of us, and if we flash the flashlight, right in front of us, it should get rid of him. And it sounded like there was a nice auditory clue to tell us when he appears.
Hello.
There it is. And see, now he's to the side, on our right doorway. So if flashlight there, it will get rid of him. And I'm assuming he can also appear on the left, as it said respective doorway. Now, obviously, if he stays there for too long and you fail to get rid of him, well, I'm sure you can expect this to happen. Alright, next up is Shadow Rat. As stated, anytime there's a ventilation, video, or audio error, he will slowly fade into your office. He will jump scare you if he fades in fully. His progress cannot be reverted. So there we go. We just got a ventilation error. And as you can see right in front of me here, the Shadow Rat is starting to fade in. I'm just going to do that the last second to get as much of him as we can. Look at that. You can see him fading in just a little bit here. So yeah, you basically want to deal with all of your errors as quickly as possible, especially if you have characters that will error out a lot of your systems. Like we just had before with the Imposter. He can be very dangerous very easily if you have a lot of characters that do that. And obviously, if he fades in too much, well, you can only expect this to happen. Alright, next up is the monkey. As stated, it'll sometimes appear in the office. There will be 4 green bananas and 1 yellow banana on the task system. Click on the yellow banana to make the monkey happy. You will die if you take too long or click a green banana. There you go. As you can see, the monkey just appeared, and we click the yellow banana to get him to go away. So yeah, it's just listening to see when he comes in, going to the task system, and getting rid of him. Now obviously, if you take too long or click a green banana, well, you know, this happens. Alright, next up is module heads, and as stated, they will be in your office and will add 1 extra bar of usage. You can click on them to stop the extra power usage, but add extra noise instead for 10 seconds. This can only be done a few times per night though. Okay, so we go into the night, and there's the module heads right in front of us. Now, as you can see, if I turn off the fan, there is still at least 1 bar of usage even though nothing is going. So, as it stated, if we click on them, that bar of usage should switch to a bar of noise, and it does. So, and that'll last for 10 seconds before it goes back to being usage. And there you go. Now, in testing, even though the tooltip says you can only do it a few times, which usually correlates to being 3, you can actually do it many more than 3 times. I haven't found the exact limit, but it was definitely over 10 times you can do it. So you don't have to be as sparing as you would think based off what the description is, but still be mindful that it is still limited. Alright, next up is fan art, and as stated, when the fan is on for too long, various types of fan art will begin to appear on the cameras. You must look at the fan art to make it go away. If too much fan art is summoned, you'll experience your end. So, what I'm going to do is turn on the fan and leave it on. And as you can see, there's some fan art appearing in the cams. If I just let it go for a little bit, there you go, more fan art. Now, obviously it's pretty easy to deal with. Just every now and again go into the cams to stop the fan art from appearing, or just turn the fan off altogether, and it won't even be a problem. Now, obviously, if you fail to do that, well, you can expect only this to happen. Next up is the technicians. As stated, one will appear on the light system. You can get rid of him by shocking a hall camera on the correct side of floor 4. Once both appear, you can use the office shock to get rid of both, though there isn't much time to do so before they kill you. So as you can see, one appeared here on the light system on the right side. So if we go to the 4th floor right side and use controlled shock, it will get rid of the technician. And the same thing happens. If he appears on the left side, you just go to floor 4, left side, and use controlled shock to get rid of him. So he appeared there again, 4th floor, right side, shock, and he's gone. And as it said, if both of them appear, you have a short window of time to use the office shock to get rid of both of them. Okay, there we go, both are there. We use the office shock, and they are both gone. And you have to be quick, because if both of them are there for too long, you will die. Now, obviously, if you fail to do that and leave both of them there for too long, well, you can expect this to happen. Next up is Steel Wool Cupcake. As stated, he will appear at your front vent door if your cameras are down for too long. When he's there, you will be unable to close it until you look at the cameras again. So as you just saw, the Steel Wool Cupcake just appeared right in front of me, and I'm clicking the W key to close the front vent, and it does not work. So if I go into the cameras for an amount of time, it should go away, allowing me to use the front vent again. Yep, just like that, we're all good. So yeah, just like a lot of the other cupcakes, fairly easy to deal with, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now, as it says in the patch notes, it seems the character Freddy Fazbear has gotten a change. He will go through the right hallway on floor 4. Watching him will make him walk slower. Close the door on his face to save yourself from his attack. Now, I'm fairly sure the new part is watching him will make him go slower. I could be wrong, but it says in the patch notes that he got a change, so I think that's what it is, because I do not recall that being a mechanic before. So, yeah, that change has been made. Alright, next up, Radioactive Foxy got a complete overhaul. It works completely differently now than he did before, and this is how he works. He will appear on the GPS system if the lure on it is used too much, and will add to the toxic meter. Repeatedly toggle the jammer on and off to make him go away. So, if we go into the GPS system and turn on the audio lure, it shouldn't take long for Radioactive Foxy to appear. And as you can see, there he is, and he raises the toxic meter real quick, and if we spam the jammer on and off, it should get rid of him. And yeah, you have to be very quick, because on 20 he will mess you up. And obviously, if you fail to stop him from getting to you, well, what does Toxic do to you in this game? Oh yeah, that's right, you pass out. Alright, next up is Augmented Ballora. And as stated, mini-arenas will appear one by one in the arcade room at high noise levels. Playing audio in nearby rooms will make them leave. Making them leave too much or having too many of them at the same time will cause Augmented Ballora to attack. Okay, so when it comes to the mini-arenas, they really only appear when the audio is really loud. So as you can see, even when the noise is fairly high like this, that's not enough to make them appear. But, as an example, if something right there, if the noise is blinking red, then the mini-arenas start to appear. And simply to get rid of them, you just play audio in other rooms. So, to avoid Augmented Ballora, you mainly just want to keep the noise down, and only get rid of the mini-arenas if you absolutely have to. Because as I said, if you get rid of them too often, well then, that will cause Augmented Ballora to attack as well. So it's very much a balancing act. Just try and keep quiet. That is honestly going to be the best way to deal with Augmented Ballora. And obviously, if you fail to do so, well, this'll happen. Alright, next up is the Purple Man animatronic, and as stated, he will be summoned into the office immediately upon using the death coin. You must keep the mask on for 10 seconds until he leaves. Alright, and right now I'm about to buy the death coin, and I have Foxy turned on so I can death coin him, and that'll cause the Purple Man to appear. Now, I am warning you, on 20, he is incredibly aggressive. So aggressive, in fact, that I've actually got to use my hotkeys to be fast enough. I've tried this before, and he killed me almost instantly. So if he's on 20, you've got to be incredibly fast. And there you go. That caused him to go away. So be warned, as soon as you hit the death coin, you've got to put on the mask, because he does not mess around. Now obviously, if you fail to do that, well, this happens. Alright, next up is Digital Glow Yendo. He will be in the totem hall, glowing more and more when the power generator is on. He will eventually leave the totem hall upon glowing enough. Once this happens, you must use the off a shock button to reset him before he kills you. Okay, so if we go into the cameras, the totem hall is actually cam 5 on floor 3, and there we go, we can see him right there. Now, I'm going to turn off the fan, and if we turn on the power generator, he should start to glow more and more, and it looks like, yeah, right before our eyes, he seems to be glowing more and more as the power generator is on. And eventually, he should be fed up with the power generator and come toward me. We'll see how long that takes. He's getting there. And there you go. Use the Aqua Shock, and he goes right back to where he was. So, basically for this one, if you don't use the power generator, he's never going to be a problem. But this is Ultra Custom Night. The power generator is a necessity. So, honestly, you're just going to have to keep your eye on him. You can cycle between having the power generator off and on, especially if you have to use the other things like heater, if you have any things that require heater or anything like that. It'll make it easier, but always keep your eye on this guy, because obviously if you fail to stop him from getting to you, well, you can expect this to happen. Alright, next up is Frozen Over Yendo, and as stated, he will randomly appear in your office after pulling down the monitor when the temperature is above 70 degrees. Put the monitor back up to make him leave. When he's there, he will rapidly cool down the office. If it reaches 60 degrees, you will die. So, what we're going to do is we're going to heat up the office to above 70 degrees. And when that happens, he should have a chance of appearing every time, and there you go. There he goes. Now, with the heater on, he has quite a difficult time bringing the temperature down. Now, obviously, if the heater wasn't on, he'll bring it down pretty fast. All you gotta do, flip up the monitor, and he goes away. Pretty easy to deal with. He's kind of like normal Yendo, except he cools down your office to kill you, and he can only come when it's above 70. So if you don't want him to even appear, well, just keep the office above 70 degrees. If there's no problems with having that with other characters. Other than that, it's just, you know, flip the monitor if you ever see him. Now, obviously, if you fail to do so, well, you can expect this to happen to you. Alright, next up is presents, and as stated, once per night, several of them will appear in the office, and a present becomes available at the prize counter. Every 5 seconds, the price of it changes to a random number from 1 to 50. You must buy it within 45 seconds of the presents appearing. Okay, as you can see, the presents just appeared at the top of the office, and if I go, yep, there is the present, and it said every 5 seconds it should change its price. And hopefully we can get one that'll help us survive. So far, we're not having so much luck. 15, there we go, we bought it, and the present should be gone. They give you a fair bit of breathing room with that. 45 seconds gives you enough time to see a few of the price changes, but you definitely want to have a high amount of fast coins in preparation for when they come, just so, you know, you'll have more buying power to be able to buy more prices. Well, anyway, if you fail to do that within 45 seconds, well, you can only imagine this to happen to you. Alright, next up is Baldi. And as stated, he'll move towards you on the GPS system. There'll be math questions on the task system. Answering a question correctly will halve his speed, but answering wrong will double his speed. The only way to survive is to answer enough questions correctly. Okay, so as you can see, if we go here into the GPS system, we can see Baldi down here in the bottom left-hand corner. Now, he can appear in any of the corners, as I have playtested this a few times, and yeah, so be on the lookout for that. And to deal with them, we go into the task system, and we solve math equations. Now, some of these are very easy, and some of them take at least a second for you to do. But overall, it's basic math, and shouldn't be that hard to do any of the equations, really. Now, I've been going through the night answering a crap ton of questions, and it seems like he is not making his way toward me anymore. Now, I do have to bring this up, because I've actually attempted this many times with him on 20 difficulty. He's currently on 5, and I feel like he's a little bit bugged right now. I don't know for sure, but even on 20 difficulty, if I was just spamming answering questions as fast as I possibly could, I could not stop him from killing me. And the power just went off, but that doesn't even matter. So yeah, be mindful that he might be bugged right now. I'm not 100% sure, but on 20, even if I focused hardcore on the questions, I couldn't stop him from killing me. So just be mindful of that. But yeah, obviously, even if he's on lower difficulties and you fail to answer the questions, well, you can only expect this to happen to you. Alright, next up is Endhard, Phantom Freddy, and as stated, looking at the light, task, or GPS systems will cause him to fade into office. Click his nose before he fully fades in to avoid a jump scare, which will cause your front vent to malfunction temporarily. Alright, so if we hop into a night here, you can see he's already faded in a little bit. Whenever you're on the light, task, or GPS systems, he will start to fade in. I changed my office so it's easier to see him, but here he is, standing really tall right in front of me. Now, one thing I did notice is it says click his nose to stop his progress. You can't get to his nose in any way, and I don't know if he's supposed to be this big or it's just like a little troll in the message, but there's no way to click his nose. You can click Freddy's nose, it doesn't do anything. As it is, there's no way to prevent him from actually getting to you. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe you guys can find a way to stop it, but other than that, you just gotta either avoid using these systems for too long or just let him jump scare you, because there's no way to prevent him, because you can't get to his nose. It's up above off screen. But anyway, if you obviously look in the systems for too long, well, you can expect this to happen. Alright, next up is another day Fredbear. As stated, he'll stay on the entrance camera. Additionally, pizza will appear in the place of fast coins around floor 3. Collecting the pizza will feed him. You must feed him enough times before 2 AM to survive. He will leave once he's not hungry. So, like you said, if we go into floor 3 entrance, right over here, there he is right there standing. And all of the fast coins have been replaced with pizzas. So we have to collect pizzas to feed him and get him to go away. Fortunately, these do still count as fast coins, which is nice. So, once you collect enough, he should get good and leave. Now, obviously, I'd assume the amount he needs to eat is relative to his difficulty. But I don't know if there's any indication when it is done. And there you go. Just like that, he's gone. Fairly easy. Just get rid of him before 2 AM and you should be fine. Just collect those coins. Honestly, it'd be well to mix this, as if you have a lot of fast coins to collect, do it on floor 3. You hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Very nice connection. Now, obviously, if you fail to do that before 2 AM, well, this'll happen. And finally, in this update, we have Katrina Toy Chica, and as stated, every time you use the controlled shock, either the office or floor 4, your game's frame rate will drop for a couple of seconds. So if we hop into here and use controlled shock, oh my god. Yup, that definitely causes your frame rate to drop. And obviously if you use the floor 4 one, does the same thing. Oh my god, that is so annoying. Does it stack? I wonder. I'm not sure if it stacks. But yeah, that is, oh, that is so bad. There you go. So yeah, just a distraction animatronic, but oh, that one is bad. That one is really, really bad. Yeah, that's Katrina Toy Chica. Alright, and with that, that is all the new animatronics that were added in the 1.6.2 update. Now there is a list of skins that were added, and they are as follows. The Banana-tastic one, Real Freddy, Totem.jpg, the Bonkus, Yendo Freddy Dude, 500,000, and William Afton. Those are all the new skins that were added in this update. Also, it says Nightmare Cupcake's mechanic got slightly altered. He will appear on your desk if your cameras are down for too long. He will only leave once you pull up the camera scan. Having him in your office for too long will result in a jump scare. I don't see anything crazy different. If you guys do, you can leave it in the comments, because that seems fairly similar, or if not the exact same to how he was before. Maybe just some numbers were changed. And then other than that, there was some bug fixes and the version number was changed. Where's version number? It's in game info. There you go. 1.6.2. There you go. And just like that, that is the 1.6.2 update. This is my first time trying a video like this, so if you guys enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments and by leaving a like. This is a lot of fun, actually, and honestly, with my other videos, this will help, because now, with these characters, I understand how they function, and you guys can put these into any of your challenges if you feel like doing so. Anyways, I will do this for the next update if it goes well. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of whatever I make.